You're going to learn about Canada. Canada is a constitutional monarchy. The Queen of Britain is also Queen of Canada. It is a member of the Commonwealth. Canada occupies the top half of the North American continent, and it stretches from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. It is the second largest country in the world after Russia. The capital city is Ottawa, and other important cities are Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, Whitehorse, Calgary. Canada has plenty of lakes and rivers, and it is covered with forest land. It is a land of vast open spaces, with thick forests, high snow-covered mountains, and broad plains. The most important rivers are the St. Lawrence and the Mackenzie. All these rivers form huge lakes along their courses, such as Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, and Lake Ontario. Most of the people live in the south because the northern part is frozen for much of the year and too cold. But contrary to popular opinion, Canada is not always cold. In fact, in the south, near the US border, where the major cities are, temperatures approach 30 degrees in summer. The native inhabitants were the Indians in the south and the Inuits, Eskimos, in the north. The Inuits, which means the people, were nomadic and generally lived in small groups, fishing seals and whales for their meat and skin and hunting other animals such as bears for their fur. During the winter, they moved on sledges and used kayaks to travel on water. One of their typical homes was the igloo. Today, most of them live in houses in the cities and are no longer nomadic. Their children go to school and probably prefer hamburger to seal meat. Today in Canada, there is a population of 30 million people. There are two official languages, French and English. Only Quebec is a bilingual state because in the past it was a French colony. Canada is famous for its enormous wilderness and natural environment. Niagara Falls is one of the world's most famous waterfalls. In the hundreds of parks you can find over 500 different species of birds and many beautiful trees, not forgetting the famous maple. You can see the maple leaf on the Canadian flag. In fact, the maple is one of the symbols of Canada, and you can also taste the famous maple syrup made from the maple sap. In Canada you can find a lot of animals. Polar bears, they live in Hudson Bay and they are considered among the most dangerous animals in the world. In autumn there is polar bear alert in a town called Churchill. Children are not allowed to go out in the streets because of the polar bears, which are there looking for food. Then you can find grizzly bears, beavers. It is an important symbol of Canada. In fact, you can find it on its coins. In the past, hunters killed beavers to make fur hats. Moose. They are deer with very large flat antlers. And seals. Canada has the longest coastline, the longest covered bridge in the southeast, the longest street in Toronto, the highest freestanding building, the CN Tower in Toronto, and the longest national railway. Canadians also have the longest life expectancy. Some famous people come from Canada: Alanis Morissette, Celine Dion, Avril Lavigne, Jim Carrey. Canada is also famous for sports such as ice hockey, curling, and lacrosse.